So the next section for software engineering is regarding the lecture 2 that we are going to see. We are going to talk about the characteristics of software mainly and the software evolution. So let's see what are the objectives we are going to learn in this particular session. They are, the first thing we are going to study, there are two characteristics we are going to study. The characteristics of software, that means one, we are going to study the characteristics of software that makes it different from the hardware or the different products which are developed by the human being only, right? How it is different from other products. Those characteristics we are going to study. Second, we are going to study the characteristics of software which is of good quality, right? So these are two different topics which are coming under the same category of characteristics of software. Next, we are going to study about the evolution of software, how the software evolution takes place, and what actually software evolution means. Then we are going to cover the topic, that is, we have already seen what is software engineering. Now we are going to just differentiate between the terms software engineering and system engineering. So let's move forward and start up with the characteristics of software. So talking about the characteristics of software which makes it different from other hardware products. First thing is, software is logical. We all know software is not a physical entity, it is a logical entity, and that is why the characteristics we are going to study here are different from the one which are physical products. So it's logical because we are going to develop a logic with the help of the code or the programming so that we can accomplish a particular task, right? But we cannot see this particular software. That is why it is not physical. Second thing, software is developed or engineered. It is not manufactured. Why it is not manufactured? Because manufactured is the word used for the hardware products only. That is the ones which are physical in nature. Next one, software does not wear out. I have told you in the earlier lecture also, that is, software does not wear out, but its performance deteriorates due to the change in the environment. Now, this change in environment can be due to the customer need. That is, the need of the customer has changed. They want some more features to be added in the software, or the change in the technology. That is, the ever evolving computer science technology is day by day introducing new programming languages that has more and more features, and that reduces the complexity of the software. So due to these particular changes, the performance of the software deteriorates, but it does not ever gets wear out. That means completely you cannot say that this software is dead now, right? Next one is, software continues to custom build. Now, what does this custom build means? That is, if we have already a software, that particular software or a new software can be built according to the needs of specific customer. That means we can develop the software according to the need of specific customer. The software can be customized. In earlier lecture, we have studied two types of software product. If you remember, one was generic product and the other was customized. So the products which are physical in nature, it is difficult to customize those products according to the need of each and every specific customer. But in software, this is possible, right? Next characteristic says software is flexible. Now, when I say software is flexible, so what does actually means? In software, even after completing the development and deploying the software in the customer environment, I can still make changes due to that particular software. I can add more features, I can add more modules to the existing software, I can delete certain modules, or I can update some other features. So that is why we can say that software is flexible in nature, right? We can do the changes according to the need of the customer. Now, the next thing is software is intangible. This word itself says that we all know the meaning of intangible. That means this is the entity which is intangible because it is logical. You cannot see it, you cannot touch it. And that is why it does not get wear out. Okay. And the last point is the reusability of components. In the software, we can reuse the existing components. As an example, object-oriented concepts has introduced the reusability of components to much more higher level rather than the procedural languages, right? So if the existing components or functional libraries we have already defined, those particular can be used in other softwares also, right? So these are all the features that makes the software different from the hardware. I hope this is clear to all. Now, next thing is, now we are going to study regarding the characteristics of good software. That means whenever we have a software, a good quality software, how can we evaluate the quality of software? These are certain characteristics according to which we can define or evaluate the performance of the software as good or bad. That means we can evaluate the quality of the software. So a software product can be judged by what it offers and how well it can be used, right? This software must satisfy on the following grounds. Now, see, in general, you must have studied the characteristics of software, so many characteristics like reusability, reliability, software should be reliable, software should be safe, software should be secure, software should be interoperable, software should be portable. So there are so many. But now here what we have done, we have divided or categorized these particular characteristics into three main headings. Those particular are called as, first one is called as the operational, second one transitional, and third one as maintenance or revision characteristics. Now, operational characteristics are the characteristics which are going to talk or which are going to evaluate the operations of the software. That means how well the software works in operation. This particular is going to talk about the functionality of the software. It is going to talk about the functionality of the software, right? So I've just written the short form. Functionality of the software can be judged in this particular category. The second one says transitional. Now here transitional means what? I'm going to understand or evaluate the performance of the software according to the point, according to the aspect, that is how well a software can be moved from one platform to another, right? From one platform to another, how well this particular can be moved. In further slides, I'm going to define it, and this will include the interior qualities of the software. The functionality will include the exterior qualities, while the transitional will include the interior qualities of software. Now comes the maintenance or revision. Now maintenance and revision means in this category, we have the aspects of the software. That means we are going to evaluate if the software has the capability to maintain itself in the ever-changing environment. See, we all know that in today's world, the computer industry or the IT industry is ever changing, right? You have to evolve day to day. Day to day, there are so many changes, so many differences in the programming capabilities, complexities, attributes, and so many more things, so that the existing product should have those qualities that it can sustain or it can maintain itself in the changing environment. So how well a software can adapt the changes, that is the coming under this particular category. Let's see one by one in operational what characteristics are coming under this, and so forth. Now this is the this is the categorization. We have talked about operational characteristics. What are these? These are the ones which are talking about functionality and how well the software can operate, right? So these are based on functionality based factors related to exterior quality, I told you. So what are those? Under this head, it comes correctness, that is accuracy, usability, integrity, reliability, how reliable the software is, efficiency, how efficient it is, security, how secure your software is, and the safety, right? So all these are coming under the head of operational characteristics. Now the next one is transition characteristics. These particular are engineering based factors. These are engineering based factors and they are related to interior quality, right? What are these interior quality? These are maintainability, flexibility, how flexible is the software, extensibility, scalability means how well you can, scale the software. It can become more or more bigger, testability, and modularity. So these are the characteristics which are coming under transition characteristics. And the last one is maintenance or revision characteristics. So in maintenance or revision characteristics, we are going to talk about portability, which is very important, interoperability, and reusability. How well the software can, survive in the changing environment, or how well it can adapt the changing environment, right? Examples you have, how a software can survive is, we have different examples, like you are well aware of WhatsApp, right? So WhatsApp, you can see that these particular, you have so many versions from the day you started this WhatsApp till today. You have seen so many changes. You are getting updated versions, and these particular versions are getting, better and better day by day. It is better. It is getting you more user friendly. So this is how these are going to survive in the changing environment. Now, next topic that comes is software evolution. Now, what is software evolution? Software evolution, we are talking about the process of developing a software using software engineering principles and methods is referred to as software evolution. That means whenever we are using a process to develop a software product, by using these particular software engineering principles, methods, and tools, we are doing what? We are evaluating the software. Now, software evolution starts from the initial development, right? From initial development means from the time when the idea of developing a software comes in the mind of a person, till the maintenance and the update phase. That means it does not stop at the deployment phase. Once the software is given or released to the customer, it does not end here. The maintenance is also in the evolution phase, and the updation is also in the evolution phase. And this is going on, this cycle goes on till the customer is satisfied, till the software gives the expected requirements, right? So this includes the initial development of software and its maintenance and updates till desired software product is developed, which satisfies the expected requirements. Now in this, once the software has been released or handed over to the customer, there can still be certain changes in coming few years, right? Maybe after 5 years, the customer is again coming to the team and saying that it needs the software to be updated so that it can include all the requirements which are needed by the customer. So what it does, even after the user had desired software in hand, the advancing technology or the changing requirements force the software product to change accordingly. So there can be changes in the software. So we need to update the existing software so that it is matching to the latest requirements. So what does it do? Whenever the change request comes, the impact analysis is done. That means the existing software is studied, how the changes are going to be included and how the updation is to be done. That planning is done, and then the software is updated, and finally it is released. So till the customer gets the satisfactory result from the software evolution is going on, right? So this is the software evolution process is. Now the last thing is, what is the difference between software engineering and system engineering? We have already seen software engineering. What is software engineering? It is the development of a software product with the help of certain principles, methods, and tools so that you can get or develop a economical software which gives a satisfactory result to the customer, right? While system engineering is concerned with all the aspects of the computer-based systems, which includes hardware, software, and process engineering as well. So in software engineering, we are not bothered about the hardware. So we can say system engineering is the superset, while the software engineering is the subset, right? While software engineering is the subset, because it is only involved in the process where the software is developed. Now, system engineers are involved in system specification, architectural design, integration, and deployment, while software engineers are involved in the development process of the software. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much.